Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fazcast. This is episode 2. I'm your host, Luigi, and this is your co-host.
I'm Heinzel, and let's get started with episode 2, baby.
Let's go. All right, so do you want to tell them what we're doing in episode 2? I guess I kind of spoiled it with my background, but...
Well, I think before we do that, I think we discuss some issues going on with this episode.
Yeah.
So we've been working for like the last half hour trying to get my laptop camera to work. Something's wrong with it. It's not working. So I'm using my phone to record. That's why I'm in a little box down there.
Yeah.
We apologize for that. And sadly, my mic is at college, so sorry for the audio quality and the visual quality. I'm working on a webcam, guys. We're working on a webcam.
We take an almost 6-month break, and somehow the quality goes down.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Listen,
hey, but we're getting an episode in no matter what, no matter the difficulties. So It'll be great either way, right?
Yeah. Everyone's been asking for one. Like every time you show up in my chat on the stream, when's the next Fazcast? Oh my gosh.
Well, we're here now.
Yep, we're here ready. So, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but not the game, the movie.
Yes, sir. If you haven't seen the movie yet, obviously there's going to be every spoiler is going to be in this video. So if you haven't seen the movie and plan to see it without spoilers,
if you're a FNAF fan and you haven't watched FNAF 2, just go watch it now. Come back later.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it right now, what are we doing? Come on. But you've seen it what, twice?
Yeah, twice. Hopefully 3 times here in the next week.
Okay,
we'll see. I got to get through Avatar first.
I saw it once, but that was on Monday, so it's still pretty fresh in my memory.
Yeah, well, I did it once the Saturday of opening weekend, and then a week later with my parents. So, and they surprisingly loved it. I didn't know if they would, because it's definitely for the fans. But my dad really liked it.
Did they see the first one?
Yeah, they saw the first one. We watched it the day before, actually.
Okay.
So as I remembered all the Easter eggs and stuff that were in it, so I was like, oh, I think they would enjoy it more if they watched the first one the day before, and they definitely did.
I watched the first one the day before going, like with all my friends on like a Discord call, just to like refresh my memory, and that also helps for this because I completely forgot what happened in the first one.
Yeah, the first movie is definitely it's honestly it's all right to me, but there's a lot of good Easter eggs and like callbacks from the first movie. So if you haven't watched the FNAF 2 movie, go watch the first one first, and then watch the second one because it's definitely a direct sequel. The events are important.
All right, so I guess we can just start off with our basic thoughts and opinions of the movie. What would you rate it? What would you rate it out of 10?
Okay, so I'm gonna look at this movie 2 ways, right? If we're gonna have like my critical review of the movie, or like how I actually felt about it.
Right.
Now, if I was like a movie critic, I can see the flaws. Like I thought some of the kid acting was all right, honestly. Like Charlotte's kid actor, I thought was okay at the beginning. Maybe it was her dialogue. That might have been what it is.
Right.
And I don't know if you know this, but Scott actually wrote the movie, which I'm so glad. And you can tell it's literally a love letter to the fan. I love it.
Yeah.
But critically, there is some issues with it. Again, some of the dialogue is just weird. The pacing's like kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
And I wish we got more of Fazcast. That would have been sick.
That part was short part, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like they're all hyping it up like for the end of the movie, and it just didn't happen. And again, the movie's in like an hour. It's like an hour and 43 minutes. I would have loved with like a 2-hour movie. You could have added plenty more scenes in there, and I would have been a lot happier. But as a fan, I mean, I think it's a 10 out of 10. I really do. I really liked it. I really, really enjoyed it. And I think it's a big improvement from the first film, which I honestly just found like almost boring. And I feel like FNAF can be boring. So I don't know how they did that.
Yeah, I would definitely rate it way higher than the first one. I mean, the first one, I couldn't even remember what happened. I think I watched it once on like a phone on like a bus ride or something. But the second one was actually like, I don't know. The whole time I was just like really enjoying it. My friend said it was a 5 out of 10, but he also doesn't really know Five Nights at Freddy's. So,
and that's what I'm saying. It's not meant for. It was really meant for the fans of the series because you wouldn't understand the context. You don't really explain the mask getting put on. He just puts it on randomly.
Yeah.
Like if you get the games, you get like the reference there.
Right. Or all it's the Easter eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like we know who Henry is, and all that. It's like the twist that Charlotte's possessing people, which we don't see in the games. It's just like a big
Right.
twist to the fan because we've never seen that before.
Mm,
Which to like an average audience viewer, like, okay, duh. I mean, spirits possess things. Why can't they possess a human?
yeah.
We've never seen that in FNAF, so we just weren't ready for that, which made
Yeah.
it so much bigger of a reveal. Yeah. So, and honestly, the movie, I said that has pacing issues, but like there was never a dull moment. I felt
Mm-mm.
really attached to the film.
It
Like I
was
felt like,
it was a lot scarier too. Like I remember there was
oh yeah,
one specific jump scare that made like me and like all my friends like really jump, and it was when so Chica or Toy Chica's like in Abby's room or whatever, and like Toy Chica's chest like opens and the puppet just like flies out.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, when I think the scariest part of the film is when Charlotte possesses people. I don't know what it is about it. Like the first girl, I don't know her actual name in the movie, but you know what I'm talking about. The first
yeah,
girl that
I
gets
think
possessed.
her the actor's name is like McKenna or something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Mhm.
I thought when she was possessed, it was actually like
I
terrifying.
think
She looked so
when
creepy. Yeah,
Abby was
Abby as
possessed,
well.
that one was like that was some like demon stuff. I don't even know what that was. That was creepy.
Dude, that's why I was kind of. I remember watching the movie. I was like, she's acting more like a demon than like a spirit
I
in
was
my
like,
mind,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, I don't even
But
know.
yeah, I don't know. I did really enjoy it, and
Yeah,
I cannot wait for that FNAF 3, and I hope that's not the end. I hope we get more films.
I hope
But
not.
we'll see.
There was
You
also
hope not.
no, I hope that's not the end. Like,
Oh yeah, okay.
yeah.
I mean, the movie performed really well. I don't know if you know
Mhm.
this, but the first FNAF 1 movie was Blumhouse's highest performing film ever. So the second one's doing really well too. So
Yeah, I know the
I
second
really
one's
hope they continue after 3, but we'll see.
yeah. Mhm.
It's doing pretty good. It's doing really good, actually, really good. So, and that's one again. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Support Scott so we can get more movies out there like that.
Yes, yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
we want to see more.
So I have a list of some Easter eggs and stuff here that I wanted to go over and get some opinions on. So the first one is in like the first like 10 seconds of the movie. They have all these arcade cabinets, and it's like there's like a Five Nights at Candy's one, and like all these other fan games they got just like right at the
See,
start.
I didn't notice that upon my either watches until I
Either.
watched the video going over the Easter eggs. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of the fan games because I
Mm,
just don't really. I want to play the canon games. I played even a little bit of Into the Pit, which I know is like
right.
not the same story, but I played that. But I really just want to play the canonical game. So cool Easter egg, but I'm just not really into the fan
Yeah,
games. So
I've never played the fan games, but I thought it was cool that they like got included in the
oh yeah,
movie.
it's kind of like Sparky in the first movie,
Right, right.
if you know in the Bay. Like it's just like Scott knows his fan base. He's paying homage to them
Mm,
in the films, which is really cool.
right. Another one, which is actually I would say my favorite little thing in the movie, just because it was so funny, was the he picks up the one like plushie or whatever, and it plays I forget the name of the person who made the sound. Um,
I know
mention his
exactly
name.
what you're talking. I mean, I think everyone knows what you're talking
It's
about.
just
It's like the funniest part
the
of that
horror,
movie.
horror, 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 horror.
Yes,
Yeah,
it comes out of nowhere. Out of
yeah.
nowhere.
It's just it's
Uh,
so out of place too, but it's so funny.
and I think that's what makes it so funny because like it's just so out of tone with the rest of the
Yeah,
film. So
it's
you
in
just out of nowhere.
this off-brand like Freddy plush too. Just like oh, it's so
And that's
funny.
the thing. Like, if you imagine just being someone that doesn't understand the series or even the meme right there that is referencing, and you just
Mm,
hear that in your movie, I can see why the critics this film so much. But as a fan, it was so awesome. Like that, like the moments like that are just so funny that you probably wouldn't get if you just didn't understand what it's referencing.
right. Yeah. The next one, I guess this probably doesn't have much lore significance behind it, but Shadow Bonnie being in the movie. Um,
Yeah, no. I thought that was one of the coolest Easter eggs. I noticed it my first watch through. I know a lot of people said they missed it somehow,
mhm,
but maybe my eyes were just trained to see it because that's where he
right.
appears at. But yeah, I know you said it doesn't have lore implications, and I think that as well. I think it was just an Easter egg. But if it does, that's crazy because I don't know how they're going to touch on that in the third film.
Yeah, because it just doesn't. I don't know. But
Just,
I figured that
just
Shadow
go.
Bonnie was going to be in the movie because U2's released like a line of FNAF 2 figures before the movie, and they had all the toy animatronics and Shadow Bonnie as one of them. And I'm like, Shadow Bonnie's a weird one to include. It'll probably end up in the movie, and then it ended
Well,
up
did you
in there
see
like
that?
a week later.
Did you see the Shadow Freddy suit we saw in the first film?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, one of the bodies that the classics killed was put in one of the it was like right next to Sparky.
Oh,
I don't
dang.
know.
I don't know how
We
I
saw
missed
Shadow
that.
Freddy in the first film,
Oh,
but
I was gonna say, yeah,
yeah,
he was missing from this one, but no, Shadow Bonnie was there for like half a second. Like my friend didn't even see it somehow, and it
yeah.
was like I don't even know. All right, well, we can get into some of the lore questions here if you want. You
That's
can
fine with me.
you can bring up one first, or I also have a list of stuff if you want me to just start with something.
How about you start?
Okay, so let's just start with I guess something that is a big thing for me is the puppet controlling all of the toy animatronics, meaning they're not possessed. Presumably, that's what that would mean. Um, which is kind of which I think is Scott's attempt to clear up MCI and DCI confusion and stuff, and say, hey, if there's only one set of kids, and
Okay, so yeah, I think we need to touch on this first. That obviously the movies are not the same continuity, and I know
right,
we both understand
right,
that. So, but then I agree with you. I feel like in this movie, Scott tries to clarify a lot of things. Now, people might say he's just rewriting the story for the movie, which is I totally get that take. But I honestly kind of agree with you. Now, it does bring up some good points, like the Wizards, for example. I know in this film it says they're prototypes that were used for spare parts.
mhm,
But in the original games, like we're led to believe that these are the classic animatronics, right?
right. Which has always
And
confused
that
me though, because like FNAF 2 comes after FNAF 1, so how that all works is kind of
that's before you move forward.
that's what I meant, yeah, before. Which is why it's like
Yeah.
why would they be all withered ahead of time and then like I don't know.
Well, I think there's an ending newspaper that says the new animatronics are going to be scrapped and they're going to refurbish the old ones,
I
referring
see.
to the Wizards.
Mhm.
So I don't know why they choose that because obviously I think the classic four are a lot creepier than the toys. But I think it's more because of the facial recognition failure thing
Yeah.
with their faces. But yeah, it does actually touch on that in the games because it mentions that the old characters are going to get refurbished, and then that leads into FNAF one, which is really weird because that means that the MCI happens at a Freddy's before FNAF two and FNAF one.
Right.
Although I personally believe that it's the same location that we see in FNAF one.
Mhm.
They just because I'm pretty sure it says grand reopening right in FNAF one.
Yeah.
Okay, if you haven't already, go check out our FNAF one Fazcast
Yes,
episode.
yes. Our last episode. If you haven't seen it, come on. It's been out for almost half a year. But I think in terms of the movie, having the Wizards be like prototypes makes sense because they really clarify that this is like the very original Freddy's, the first location. Like this is like the complete original. So if you have like these old withered animatronics, it's like they didn't come from a like a pizzeria beforehand. So I guess it kind of would make sense that they're labeled as just like prototypes in terms of the movie because this is like the very original Freddy's, which I think I think they were saying, unless I read into this wrong, that the MCI happened at this Freddy's, like the FNAF 2 Freddy's in the movie.
Okay, I don't think it was saying that. I think he was going to make it there, and then Charlotte stops it before it happens, right? So that kid was going to be the first of that kid that he was pulling in the back was going to be the first
Right.
of the MCI children. Charlotte goes back there, saves him, gets killed herself. He waits another so many years, and then finally does the MCI at the second location we see in the
Mhm.
first movie.
Right.
Is my personal interpretation of that. But if we're going back to the question of if the games is similar, right? If Charlotte is the only actual spirit in the FNAF 2 location. Now, I like that a lot better, if I'm being honest, because that clarifies the DCI. There is no DCI.
Right.
I know we kind of discussed the DCI in the first episode of the Fazcast. My opinions on it
Mhm.
have changed a little bit. I think it is possible it happened, and then we see their spirits move on. The DCI spirits move
Right.
on in FNAF 3. Again, I'm not entirely certain of that yet. I really do
It's
need to make just a whole timeline video at some point.
yeah, it's kind of funny because
But
my opinion
no,
has
go on, go on.
shifted. My opinion has shifted the other way. I've started to think it less, especially after this. I'm like, okay, I don't know
Yes.
about this anymore.
Well, it's very weird that they're mentioned once in like the little mini games and then
Right.
never again. And I do think that's strange. But I feel like the games are also pointing evidence that I don't know. I like the games point on evidence that the toys might not be possessed, at least the toys. But I feel like the Wizards are possessed
Right. By the I mean if they're the same suits,
because of the papers. And I think they're yes. So I know people talk about like the Unwithereds, but I think
The
the Unwithered
Unwithereds.
are just the classics.
Yeah.
You know, there's no Unwithereds. They're the same. They're the same image. I know the designs are different, but that was just an artistic choice, not
Right.
because they're two different suits.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So that's my opinion on that. I know that might piss people off because I know a lot of Unwithered fans, but
Right.
sorry guys, I don't think it's true.
I mean,
And also, if we're talking game continuity here, right? Is in the movies, right? This location, this new location we're shown, is the original Freddy's. I
mhm,
don't think that's the case though in the games because
right.
I think the starting newspaper of FNAF 2 says the new face of Freddy's and it shows
Right.
Toy Freddy. So if it's the new face, there had to be a previous face. Therefore, there's a
Unless
previous.
unless it was like the same place and they just got like a new set of animatronics, but
Also possible. I mean, that's a great counterpoint.
right. But yeah, I mean,
Now,
the
can
toys,
I ask your opinion on the death order of the kids? Because I feel like recently, with the Help Wanted Two Stones and all that, it's pushing Charlotte after the MCI victims.
right.
Now, I feel like that doesn't make as much
Which
sense, but
that's the opposite of what the movie was pushing. The movie was pushing that she
oh
was
yeah.
like the very, very first, at least. Well,
Now,
not necessarily.
when were the kids killed? Was it 1985
Yeah.
in the movies? Okay, and then I believe Charlotte was 1982, right?
Yeah, the movie starts in 1982, and
And
that's
it
when
was
Charlotte.
85 when the MCI happened in the movies.
I believe so.
Okay, yeah, and I agree. And again, it's just like the Help Wanted Two Stones. While the order you have to put it in order, from Chica to the puppet.
Right.
And I think that's so strange, unless it's obviously the reverse order in the puppet, but then that put Chica at the end. I mean, we know from the UCN voice line that Chica was the first. So I don't know.
Right.
It's that detail right there. I feel like that was purposely put in the games
Hmm.
to show us the death order. I know
Right.
that goes against so many theories about
I
Charlotte
know.
being first, and I think Charlotte being the first murder makes sense, but I don't know. I don't know.
Right. And in terms of the movie, it's also kind of weird where Garrett fits into all the deaths because he's not part of the five. He's like his own thing. Like he wasn't even taken from a pizzeria. He was just like kidnapped and like I forget where they were. They were like camping or something, I think. And
Yeah, yeah.
he just like gets kidnapped and killed and he's just like so out of place. So I don't know where he's gonna fit in because I feel like they're gonna have a bigger place for him at some point, but I don't know where he necessarily fits in or what like suit he would be tied to if he is connected to one. Um,
No, I do wonder what's going to happen with Garrett because they didn't even mention Garrett in the second movie. Now, either that's because they're saving him for the third film or because they're just entirely done with him. I'm not entirely sure. But it does need to get addressed, right? It's his murder, like as you mentioned, completely different than the rest of William's murders. He literally goes to a location, kidnaps a kid, and then kills him.
right.
Very, very strange for William. And I've seen people theorize, and I honestly kind of believe this too. In the movies canon, Garrett's probably the first, or no, that can't be true because of Charlotte. Or how old? Mm, no, yeah, no, it could be true because Mike older than Vanessa. Anyways, I see people theorize that Garrett was like the first murder, so like, he was still figuring things
Right.
out. So that led to it being so strange because it was the outlier, his first time,
Right.
murdering someone. He did not do it, so he kidnaps a kid. And then now again, we don't have a reason that William kills, even in the games, but especially not in the movie. We've never touched on why he kills. Very
Yeah, it's
strange.
just kind
And
of
maybe
been
that's what Garrett will tie into in the third.
right.
Yeah, like we don't know. Maybe they'll tie that back in the third film. I mean, I hope they do. I really do. And I think the third film has so much stuff it needs to answer, and that's why I hope they do a fourth film. I don't know how they would do a fourth film unless they just skip FNAF 4 and go to sister location.
Right.
But I mean, I'm fine with that. That's fine with me.
Yeah. And speaking of Garrett, I guess that would lead into my next thing here, and that's about the box. So the box, the FNAF 4 box is in the movie. I mean, it's the same box. Like, I mean, you could maybe argue it's not, but it pretty much is. And when the box is opened, it just has like little like things from each person he's killed. Like he has the Garrett's toy plane and like so I don't know if that's Scott actually trying to clear up what's in the box or just give like a little like throwaway joke like haha this is the box just kind of as like a kind of like a
Well,
joke
okay,
for the
so
fans.
the box is no. That's the box is a great question to bring up. I mean, it's one of the biggest mysteries in FNAF, and I feel like in the modern stories we have now, we have moved past the box in that storyline.
Right.
So there's no easy way to bring it back up and give us answers. So I feel like this is Scott's way of saying, okay, we're back into this part of the story. Let me just give you the answer because you guys aren't gonna. I can't put it into the story now. It's too late. It wouldn't make sense to be in the story. And I think that's what's in the box. I do actually agree with that. I think it was the trophies of the kids he's killed that he gave to Vanessa. Interestingly, I think there's only like four or five trophies in there, which is kind of weird because
Yeah. I
I
couldn't
would assume
remember
that
exactly what they were, but
I would assume he's murdered more kids than that, even in the movie's timeline. But I might be wrong.
I mean I
Might be
guess
wrong.
not necessarily like everyone had something that he could take with them. Like I don't know. But
Also true. Also true.
right.
But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and the in both of Scott's interviews with Dawko, I know he mentions one that what's in the box has changed over time.
Yes.
And then in the second one, he says, I think he said he didn't entirely know what was in the box, but he like
Right.
put I think he references putting a piece of rope connected to the box, and the rope what he was going to pull on that rope on later games to answer that question, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. Like he didn't really know, but he knew that he knew sort of where it was leading, and
Right.
it just changed with time. And I think what that rope was is it was dream theory. I think what was originally in the box was toy figures of all of the original animatronics that
Mhm.
we saw in the first four games, showing that it was all a dream. It was all
Yeah.
the crying child's dream. Again, Scott obviously saw the fan backlash from that theory, which was definitely the plan. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like we all know that by now. And said, okay, fine, that's not what's in the box, and he changed it to what we see in the movie, which being the trophies of the kids he killed, which I think is satisfying. Honestly,
Right.
that makes sense
Mhm. Yeah.
because I think people have mentioned too that it is a toy box. I think we've
Yes.
noticed that in the past games, and that makes sense that it's holding Vanessa's toys from kids he's murdered. So,
Mhm.
good
Yeah.
explanation for me.
Yeah. And speaking about Vanessa, so it was kind of at least a little bit of a plot twist to me that you see this at the beginning of the movie, you see Charlotte like all alone or whatever, and this girl comes up to her, this blonde girl, and talks to her and is like trying to be her friend and trying to invite her over to their table and whatever. And we find out later that that's Vanessa, and they were like best friends as children, which is kind of it doesn't feel like it has like way like too much significance, but at the same time, it was kind of like a little bit of a plot twist that at the beginning of the movie you see them being friends, and then later you find out that that's Vanessa, and she's knew about this the whole time and like kind of kept it hidden from Mike. Um, so I guess the question here is why is Vanessa kind of hiding all this from Mike like throughout the entire? Because I feel like they don't really explain it much. They're just kind of like Vanessa hides all these things, and then at the end of the movie, Mike's like, "All right, stay away from me," and that's just kind of where it drops off. It's like I don't know. I mean, that could be part
No,
of the
I agree. It feels like it's out of nowhere. But I also going back now. I'm gonna go. Let me go way back to where you just started at earlier.
right.
Yeah. So I didn't realize this blonde girl was either until we see Charlotte go into the back, and this little girl
Mm.
stops her and says, "No, Charlotte, don't go back there." And I was like, "Oh, that's Vanessa because she knows about what her father's doing, and she
Ooh,
tries to stop Charlotte."
I didn't
It
even
also
think
makes
about why she tried to. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
no. She grabs her arm and is like, "Charlotte, don't." So I think that's what she says, and I was like, "Oh, that's Vanessa."
Mhm.
Because she obviously knows what her father is, and she helps him. I mean, we see that later. But where's I going with that? Man, what was I going to say? Anyways, yeah. So Vanessa was definitely friends with Charlotte, and that makes sense because Charlotte is, of course, the daughter of Henry,
Right.
and as we
Business
hear at the end of
partners.
FNAF 2, Henry and William are business partners. So of course their daughters would be friends. I mean, that
Right.
just makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, okay. So going back to what your question was, we see at the end of the movie where Mike's like, okay, you gotta like we're not talking anymore. But in his mind, it makes sense because Vanessa, as you said, kind of like doesn't tell Mike about FNAF 2.
Mm-hmm.
She tries to a little bit, but Mike brushes her off. And then I think the straw that broke the camel's back there was Michael showing up. Because she never mentioned to him at all that she had a brother. And then all of a sudden, her brother comes in with all these animatronics trying to kill not only him, but Abby as well. And she never mentioned this to Mike. And I think that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. And he's just like, okay, I'm done with you. You're out of here. And we saw it earlier in the movie on their dates when he says, I think he says honesty, like she says something about being honest to Mike, and he says honesty, and then looks at her, like obviously saying like, you should be honest with me. I think he's waiting for her to open up to him, and she never really does, because her whole life she's been like two-faced. She's literally what Vanessa is in the games. She has her father's side that controls her a little bit. You know, we saw that in the first movie, and then we have who she wants to be, and I think we see that in the movies as well. Especially if you go back in the first film, she switches up so fast. Like there'll be times where Michael will be like, Abby shouldn't be here, and she's like, and if you bring her back here, I'll shoot you, and it's just out of nowhere. But we see her two sides, her two conflicting sides, just like with Vanessa and Vanny in the games. And I think God did that on purposely because we saw that character in the games, and he wanted to bring that Vanessa over as to make her an Afton, which makes sense here. So yeah, that's my personal interpretation. I think she has two sides, and she's trying to get rid of that evil side of her that her father put in her.
Which is what we see her. That's what we see her do in that big scene where she like tries to go to sleep and tries to like face her dad, but ultimately like kind of fails. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of you," and then he steps out, and instantly she's like fearing for her life. So yeah, she's trying to get over it.
That's like her glitch trap in this series,
right?
In this movie series.
And the introduction of Michael Afton, that's a special thing because he seems very different to his game counterpart, at least.
What do you mean? They're the same character.
Yeah. Same name and everything. Yeah, so one...
Yeah, I remember when he came out and he said, when they said Mike, he said, no, Michael.
I'm like, oh.
Okay, so it's Michael Afton.
Yeah.
And then the movie later reveals that he's Michael Afton again. But I feel like if you're a fan, you already picked that up as soon as he said his name is Michael. But, I mean, and then also, there was some foreshadowing. Because in the dream sequence that Vanessa went through that you mentioned earlier, we see several picture frames, and we see William, his wife, Vanessa, and then it's kind of shadowed out, but there's a boy standing there as well.
Right.
So I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Makes sense. I guess he's evil in the movies, which is a different take.
Okay. So is that a different take? Because I wonder if Michael was helping William in the games until he realizes, like Vanessa is doing in the movies, that he needs to stop and finish this. I wonder if there was a turning point there. It's a good question because when we don't know much about Michael and Afton's connection there in the games. Right. So we just know that right, Michael eventually stops being bad or learns about what his father's doing and wants to put an end to it. But before that, we don't know anything about him besides obviously killing his brother.
Yeah, and I mean in the games at least it's kind of hard to determine when that switch up would be then, because after Sister Location he's like, I'm gonna come find you.
Yes. Yes. But why was he going down in the Sister Location at all? I mean, that's a great question as well.
Right, and he's it seems like he was helping him because he's like, oh, Father, I found her. Like he's just helping her.
Exactly.
So I don't.
And that's what makes me think that, like in the movies here, and I think we'll see in the third film that Michael will have a redemption arc where he does what Vanessa's doing and realizes what he's doing is wrong. I think we kind of see this in the movie as well. When Charlotte kills all of the ghost investigators, he kind of looks shocked. Like he didn't realize how bad this would be. And we also see he kind of gets sad when he says he tells the animatronics to kill his sister and Mike and Abby. Like he gets sad. He's like, okay, I don't know. I think that there is a side of Michael that wants to be good, but he also wants to please his father.
Right.
And continue to be an Afton. And I think I think again it's probably Scott saying this is what happened in the games as well, clarification. And maybe sometimes during Sister Location that switches him over. After he gets scooped, he realizes my father's not great. Or maybe that's the turning point. Not entirely sure. I think he goes down into the Sister Location bunker to fix his sister.
Right.
Maybe Austin told him. Sorry, William told him that if I don't appear for like a month or two, go into the basement and you'll find your sister
Mhm.
there. Fix her.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what leads to the realization that he's killing kids. Maybe he didn't know that, and then he wants to go free people or free all the spirits. So I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure. But yeah, it is different. I agree, but it could be similar to what we see in the games. We're
Mhm.
just not entirely sure.
Right. So we got Vanessa and we got Michael, which I think would then lead us into probably what is the biggest like reveal or like just like craziest thing in the movie that I don't think anyone expected, and that is seeing Baby in William's room. Like just out of nowhere, just for like a second, you see Baby standing there, and it's like, what the heck? Like when I saw that, I just like sat there and just was like, I don't even know what's going on. Like that was like not expected at all.
Yeah, that was an unreal moment. I was not expecting to see Circus Baby in my FNAF 2 movie.
Yeah, I was like,
I'll tell
whoa.
you that. That was a bit. I mean, it was very cool. Now, is it more than an Easter egg? I'm not
I
entirely sure.
I feel like it has to be because there's so many Easter eggs that you can throw in just as like you got Shadow Bonnie, you got Sparky in the first movie. I think Scott knows the importance of Baby, and he knows if he just throws that in as like a fun like, oh, here's Baby, just as an Easter egg because you guys like this character. He knows the importance behind that character, and he knows he can't throw that in without people like losing their mind about what it means. So I doubt he would put it in there just as like a there she is, so you can see her. Like there's got to be something behind that.
Especially with it being right next to Afton's daughter, which again
Yes.
is very symbolic. He puts it right next to Vanessa when she's a little girl, and we know that kills Elizabeth Afton.
Mm.
And that brings me on to the next point I was going to bring up. I'm pretty sure you can correct me on this that her eyes are green in the movie, symbolizing that she's like in the games that would symbolize
Right.
that Elizabeth has possessed her.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if that was just a stylistic choice, but I'm not sure. I don't know if there was Elizabeth Afton in the movie. I kind of doubt it, honestly.
Yeah.
Same thing for Evan. I don't think there was an Evan Afton. I think it was just those two kids.
Mhm.
But what's your opinion on that?
So I didn't actually pay attention to the eye color, which looking back is like something you're like, oh, what, shoot, I really should have looked at that. But I mean, I'm sure I could look up a picture right now and see that it's green or whatever. But no, I don't think there'll be any more of the children. I think it's just those two, honestly. But then that would lead to who would possess Baby, like who.
Yes. Well, okay. So at the end of the movie, right, we hear Henry bring up that there's more animatronics that he can track,
Right.
likely referring to Sister Location. Now, I hope FNAF 3. I hope they just save Sister Location for a fourth or fifth movie. I really hope they don't put that into FNAF 3. But I mean, it's sort of hinting at that. I really want to focus on Springtrap in this next film.
Right.
But that's my opinion. I like what they're doing with the games. How we had the FNAF 1, lore, FNAF 2 lore, and then I hope they stick with we get a little bit of Faster Frights, and then William taking
Right.
over and trying to kill them. Now, will we have an end? Actually, that leads me into my next question. Will we see William die in FNAF 3?
Hmm. I think we'll see him die. It okay. It depends if he wants this to be a three-movie series or if he wants it to go more. If he wants it to just be a trilogy, I think there's a chance that obviously, if they make a FNAF 3 movie, this whole fire thing is going to happen. Um, and so I think if it's just a trilogy of movies, they'll probably kill him off and be like, all right, this is it. But if he plans to make any more, I think we'll see him die. But then potentially, like a post-credit thing, he'll be back or something. I think
Yeah, like the FNAF 3 game.
I think a cool post credit scene would be like, have you ever seen that like cutscene where you see like Scrap Trap sitting outside of the FNAF 6 building, like in the rain?
Yeah, like all the FNAF images that we see outside in the,
Yeah,
in the
you can
alleyway.
see him sitting there like in the rain with like thunder. I feel like that would be like a cool like post credit scene. You see him.
Oh, a scrap trap. How would you think? Do you think Scott would make a scrap trap? Because I feel like everyone hates that design. I honestly think it's fine, and I think he should
I like
stay
the
with it
Scrap
because he's
Trap
ready to get
design.
into it. But I feel like I don't think it's that bad. Now I get the Jimmy Neutron skull thing, but even Springtrap's skull is so
Yeah, I've seen
So I
people
don't think it's
hating.
that big of an issue.
I've seen some people hating on the Spring Trap design in the movie. Like just that little bit we see, some people have been hating on it.
But we have to look. I honestly don't like it as much either. But again, that's just a prototype
Right.
that they were using for the end credit. That's not the final suit. And I
I
think
mean,
Daco actually mentioned that in his behind the scenes video where he went
mhm.
on the thing. They mentioned to
Right.
him that it wasn't a prototype, just used for the end credit scene. That's why it was under plastic wrap, so you wouldn't see the full suit. But
Right.
I hope we get a much more one for one suit
Right. I mean, they
in the game.
absolutely nailed Baby. Like that was like,
Oh yeah, no, I haven't had an issue with any of the Jim Henson animatronics from the
mm,
first or second movie. They all look one for one, and that's well, of course, besides Spring Bonnie, but we don't really see Spring Bonnie in the games besides his sprite,
you're right.
so you can't really complain. And I think the Yellow Rabbit suit, very cool. Honestly,
I
I
mean,
really like the unwithered design of it in the second movie we
yeah,
saw
I
at the
like his
very
like
beginning.
his
I
glowing
thought
blue
that was
eyes.
sick.
Yeah, his glowing
Yes,
blue
no,
eyes
I
through the
thought
door. Oh man.
that was those scenes were with him behind Charlotte. Oh, that what an opening! What an
Mm,
opening! I love that.
that was
I
crazy.
think that even the withered Yellow Rabbit suit we saw in the first movie was pretty cool. Now I hope they don't botch that with the third film with Springtrap. But if they just make a one for one design like they have in the past with every other animatronic suit, it'd be great. The fans would be happy, and I
Right.
know they can do that. So I really hope they do that as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping if they do like the FNAF 3 movie that they give like some flashbacks to like a Fredbear's, unless in the movies Fredbear's isn't a thing, which to be fair, they only ever said this is the original Freddy's, not the original like complete location.
Well,
So
it takes place in 1982, right? And I'm pretty sure
right.
is it Help Wanted or is it Help Wanted 2 that gives us a Freddy Fazbear coin says founded in 1983. But that's Freddy Fazbear's again. Fredbear's being a whole different thing at that
Right.
time. So I do think that there was a Fredbear's in the movies as well, and because obviously we see Spring Bonnie. Why else would
Mm,
that be there
yeah.
if there wasn't
Right.
a Fredbear's? Uh, but we didn't see much of Golden Freddy. We saw him in the first movie.
It
We saw
was
no withered Golden Freddy in FNAF 2, which was very strange. But
yeah, that which kind of leads into this like final like big scene where all the animatronics, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought this scene was a little cheesy, just kind of like
so
um
I loved it. I loved it because I think FNAF has that big a little bit of corniness to it, but I
right.
thought it was perfect.
But I
I
wish
was losing it, man. That
I
was fun.
wish what would have happened is the original animatronics came in and there was like a little bit of struggle between them rather than just show up and just like just rip them
Yeah,
off.
they like they destroyed them like they were made out of butter. It
Because
was crazy,
if you
but
would
I honestly loved it. It was a good way to send off the kids, in my opinion.
yeah.
But that's my opinion. I get people that said it's like really corny,
Mhm.
and I see like the memes. It's like Toy Freddy will appear in Avengers Doomsday, like stuff like that, because it is like a scene from Avengers, honestly.
Right.
But I thought it was sick. I mean, we never saw anything like that in the games because it's not very
Right.
realistic. But that's why I
Which
loved it. Just for what it was.
I've seen that scene lead some people to question if I can't think of the kid's name, but he's the one who controls Golden Freddy in the movies. If he's just doing the same thing the puppet is and controlling
I've
all
seen
the
that as well.
suits, and if the kids have already moved on except for him.
Now, I think that's a very possible explanation because they did kill Afton, so they have a reason to move on. They did
Right.
what they were wanting to do from the start. Now, I think the real reason is because all the kids that they used for the first film had grown too old. They would just look different,
Right. Right.
and they wouldn't look right. Because again, the spirits should be aging. And
Mhm.
then they saw like the main spirit, that his kid looks like somewhat similar to what he
Yeah.
looked like in the first film. So like, we're just gonna use him because
Right.
all
Yeah.
the other kids.
I don't think it's Golden
That's what I
Freddy.
think happened.
I mean, I
But
think even in terms of the story, it's not Golden Freddy controlling all of them because Abby talks about her friends, plural. Like she talks to all of them, and she has this like special connection with Chica specifically. And so if he's just controlling all of them, like there's not going to be
well,
that differentiation.
we saw the four other spirits in the first movie.
Right.
Now,
In the first
again,
one.
if they're controlling the animatronic suits in FNAF 2 is debatable. Now, again, I would say no because the explanation for why the puppet is able to control them is because it says that she has a wireless connection to all the animatronic suits.
Mhm.
She's not actually possessing them; she's controlling them remotely like she could, like the marionette could before she
Right.
was possessed. So I think that's what she's doing there. She's not actually possessing all the other suits at one time. She's just possessing the marionette, and the marionette is able to control the other animatronics through a wireless signal. That's what the movie says. And again, we don't get that explanation for Golden Freddy. I don't know why Golden Freddy would have that capability. So I think we are supposed to assume that the 5 kids from the first film are there. We don't see the 4 kids move on. They do. Again, probably these child actors are just too old to appear again as little kid spirits.
Right.
Or because it's too expensive. I mean, let's be honest. It would be kind of expensive to bring them back. And we just see the main leader of the spirits, come in and say, "Hey, we can't hold him any longer." Which, by the way, very cool scene. And then disappear. Which
Mhm.
I think was a good way to move them on. Their mission was complete. They had set to do. They killed their killer, and it was time for them to move on. So great
Right.
ending for me. The kids.
Yeah. I saw. Now this is not really necessarily a big thing, but I saw there were actually a lot of people surprisingly mad by like the line of that the kids are going to heaven, and I'm like,
I don't know why that was a big issue. I mean, what do you? We literally have Henry talking about William going to hell, and
yeah,
so why can't we assume that? Well, I've seen that too, and we know that Scott is a Christian man
right,
from what he did
right.
for FNAF, and obviously it has an influence on the film. But why would that make you mad when we literally have mention of hell? That didn't trigger anyone, but heaven did. Come on, guys, come on! It's
Yeah,
literally
I just thought
it's
that
the
was
same thing.
funny
It's the
that people
exact
got
same thing,
mad at
just the
that line.
opposite side. That I that pisses you off. There's something wrong with you guys. Come on. We literally have the mention of the opposite thing of that in the games, and there is no issue. So why would
Right.
heaven be an issue? Sorry, little rant there. I don't know why that was such a big issue with the film when it
Yeah.
when it shouldn't be. I mean, we didn't have a problem with it previously, so
I know. And
I think it's only mentioned like 3 times at max too. So
right, yeah. Yeah, looking at my notes here, I actually found something that I wrote that kind of brings us back to a point we just went over, which was the whole Golden Freddy controlling the suits. And that brings me to if he wasn't controlling the other suits, where was the Golden Freddy suit in this final thing? Like, if he's not controlling them, why does he just like show up not in his suit and do nothing and like not participate? If Golden Freddy
okay,
isn't controlling the others,
no, again, I don't believe that he's controlling the others, but like the first film, I think Golden Freddy works like David's spirit does in Secret of the Mimic, where you
mm-hmm.
know how we see the white tiger, which
Yes,
we pretty much know is David's spirit, just in the form of the thing he likes the most, right?
right.
And I think it's the same thing with Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy's spirit takes the shape of Golden Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
We see that in the first film, right? Because he goes and picks up Abby in the car, and then comes back, and she turns around, and Golden Freddy's gone
Mm-hmm.
because he was never there. He's a spirit that can physically interact with things. That's how he knocks out Abby's aunt and how he moves the car, all that. He's a spirit that can move things. Just like how David's spirit can kill you in the basement of Murray's Costume Manor.
Yeah,
I think it's the exact same thing. So Golden Freddy can appear as both the spirit that's possessing him and the spirit's body in that form of the form of what he's possessing. Also, Golden Freddy is canonically a suit that cannot move by itself.
right, right. Okay,
So
yeah,
again, he can't be physically there like the others.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Now, where is Golden Freddy's suit? We don't know. We don't see a physical suit either in FNAF 1 or FNAF 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great question. Where is the actual suit? Not sure. Maybe it'll be in Fredbear's, but
Mm-hmm.
that kind of goes against the whole the MCI being 5 missing children. So
Right.
I don't know. It's probably somewhere in the FNAF 1 location.
Yeah. Yeah, and in the first movie we see Golden Freddy in the back of the taxi, which again we see the taxi in this movie. I was not expecting Corey to be in this movie again. I was expecting him to reappear in the second movie.
I'm so glad they did. It was
Um,
so funny.
yeah, that it was so out of nowhere, but it was also so funny. Also, I don't know if you picked up on what's his name, Doug, the lawyer from the
The
first
law.
movie.
Yeah, I did see that. I'm so glad they did that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. If you haven't watched the first movie before going into the second movie, go back and watch the first film, so you can pick up on stuff like that. It just
Right.
makes the film so much more enjoyable because it's the same taxi driver. We have the same lawyer. we get mention of what happens to the aunt. She doesn't actually die in the first film,
Right.
which we all thought she died. Like stuff like that. It's literally a direct thing, and all those Easter eggs you wouldn't get if you don't really remember the first film before watching the second one. So, I highly recommend, if you haven't already, go watch the first film before watching the second.
Yeah. And one thing that disappointed me a little bit though was the lack of voice lines from Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie. I mean, you got Toy Freddy voiced by Kellen Goff, who literally does the voice of Funtime Freddy and all these
And
others in the game.
his Toy Freddy was great. I loved it.
He got like
I
one
loved his
line.
voice.
I think Toy
Yes,
Freddy
he
had
had
one
one
line.
line, and it was perfect. Perfect.
And then Toy Bonnie only had
But
like 2 lines, and it didn't even sound like Pat to me.
no, it's because he was doing a voice, and then obviously they put some sound effects over it.
Right.
But the reason they did Toy Chica was the main centerpiece is because she was voiced by Megan Fox. I mean, let's be honest. They wanted to get their money's worth out of that. So they're like, okay, so we have Megan Fox, this huge actress, sorry. So we're going to make sure that we focus mostly on Toy Chica because we got to get our money's worth of Megan Fox, which I get. But when you're advertising the toy animatronics, please show more of them. Especially because Toy Chica's cool. She's cool. But Toy Freddy and Toy Bonnie, all the toys are so cool too. So I don't know why they couldn't have shown more. And again, that pushed me to wish that there was a 2-hour cut of FNAF 2 because we only got an hour and 40 minutes. We could have done so much more.
It definitely makes sense that we see the most of Toy Chica. I mean, because Abby's connection to Chica, but also it's like it was a little too much just Chica, not enough Freddy and Bonnie. Mangle, I'd say we got our fair share of Mangle with that whole car scene. I thought that was insane.
And Mangle can't talk, so I was fine if they didn't share too much with her. But the car scene was great. Now, I actually do have a question for you, and it does kind of push me to one of my first big, let's say how am I going to call this? Kind of a plot hole in a sense. How did Mangle get on top of Vanessa's car without her noticing?
I don't know how you wouldn't.
Did she hop into the car with Mangle already on top? Because how would she not notice that? Or two, did Mangle hop on top of her car?
Did Mangle run so fast and catch up to the car?
But how did she not hear that? Because out of nowhere, I think she heard like a noise right before it kills her. Or sorry, not kills her.
Spoiler, no.
Yeah, Vanessa does not die before it crashed her car. But we're assuming that it was there the whole time. So I don't know. Was she just was it slowly on the back? I don't know.
Maybe.
I've seen people bring that up. I'm like, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those. That's one of those things that's like, they didn't think about that. They just.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something I would have thought of myself. But yeah, I'm sure if you had this giant metal robot climbing on top of your car, you'd hear a little bit of noise. But
I mean, it's huge. Mangle is huge in this film too, and it's like her car would definitely drive different. So I don't know how she didn't notice that, but it's fine. It makes sense with our movie continuity, but actual sense it doesn't. That's fine. It's fine.
The Jim Henson Company did an insane job with Mangle. I mean, I'm sure I haven't actually seen behind the scenes of it, but I'm sure nobody's wearing that, so I'm sure it has to be some big either
puppetry stuff,
puppetry or remote control or something like that. I don't know, but it's got to be something insane. I mean, to do some of those.
Well, Mangle was a standout from the second game, anyways. So they kind of had to do it right, and I'm glad they did. I was happy with all the animatronics. Of course, I agree with you that we could have got way more screen time with the toys, which I would have loved. Especially since they can talk. We could have gotten way more personality out of them, especially with Kellen Goff voicing Toy Freddy. Come on, we would love to see more of that. Glamrock Freddy, shout out to my boy right here, is probably just the most loved Freddy because of how much Kellen Goff brought to the character.
Right.
So why would you not use that? I get Megan Fox, big actress.
You got to use your Megan Fox.
You're paying for this name, but we want more of the other toys. If they can talk, give them more personality, give them more scenes. Mm-hmm. And we didn't even see much of Fazcast. We could have seen so much more. Also, they could have called it Fall Fest. Come on, guys. Where's that Easter egg at?
I know Fazcast. It's so close, but
I think it's because they didn't want. It wouldn't make sense to the other audience. It's not during fall.
Right.
It makes sense, but it would have been such a cool Easter egg as well. But
yeah, apparently in the the Faz Fest scene, there was a little cameo from Dalko and 8-Bit Ryan. I didn't see it. I just I've
Not
heard
in the
about it
movie.
after.
I saw their vlog and them mentioning it,
Oh,
but I didn't
okay.
see it in the movie
Yeah,
either.
I didn't see it in the movie,
Yeah,
but apparently they were there, so I don't
because
know.
it's very background. It's very background.
Mm, right, right. Let
Well,
me
that
see.
also breaks the lore because earlier in the first movie they have a cameo on the employee board.
Employee of the month, yeah.
Yeah, so how are they the same age?
Maybe they're just
It's the
like
time traveling ball pit.
maybe they're
It's
just like
canon.
doppelgangers. Look the same,
Nope,
different
it's
people.
the time traveling ball pit and Into the Pit is real.
Oh boy.
It is canonical to the FNAF movies.
Oh boy.
Daco went through the time traveling ball pit. Appears in Fazcast.
Into the Pit movie.
Canon.
Into the Pit movie begins.
Toy Chica is Daco.
Dang,
Little theory for you there. Little theory for
that's
us.
crazy. That's crazy. It was actually nice that we got to see Chica without her beak. It was only once, but it was kind of funny.
I know, but they could have done it more because she's so much creepier without her
I know they
beak
could have
on.
done it like every time she was in like a kill mode rather than. But
Yeah, and they teased me when her chest plate broke open. That's not what I thought was about to fly out, but
yeah,
like why would they do
the
that to us?
puppet flying
Why
out,
would they do
dude.
that? That's not what we wanted. We didn't want the puppet,
Hey, that was the
but it's
scariest
fun.
jump scare in the whole movie. That one was.
Also, was the puppet ever referred to as the marionette before this movie in the games?
I
Because he was always referred to as the security puppet, 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 puppet. And I
yeah
thought the marionette was besides Nightmare On, of course. Nightmare On is the
right
only reference to the puppet as the marionette. And this film never called her the puppet, which I thought was very strange. I
right
mean, the name's fun, but I feel like besides that, she's always been referred to the puppet. And then this film was like, no, she's the marionette.
yeah. And I mean that beginning scene with like why can't I think of her name? Charlotte. Sorry, Charlotte falls into like this opening and it just like rises up. Yeah, just like that. It's just like I mean that was crazy. I don't even know. That was some symbolism right there. I don't even know what to say about that.
That was really cool. And you saw, like, I think the puppet got immediately possessed because we see it turn its head to stare at everyone
I
like
mean,
it's
yeah,
Charlotte.
just like instantly just starts working.
That whole opening scene, besides Charlotte's lines, which I thought were corny, especially when Vanessa was like, "Here, have some Freddy Fazbear Cola." What?
Pretty fast, weird,
Just
cool.
talk like a normal person. Like, here, you want a drink? Like, well, I mean, that's just more. I don't know. It's fine.
We
It's
could have
fine.
just we could have just called it Soda Roni from FNAF VR.
Yeah, I get it was like supposed to be funny because, like, put Faz in front of everything, but like it was. It tastes like diesel.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. No, like if you're at McDonald's, you're not going to be like, "Do you want a Mick Mountain Dew or not?" They don't want Mountain Dew. A Mick
Yeah,
Fanta. Like,
sure. No, it's the same thing. I get it. I'm like, okay, come on, you can improve your dialogue.
yeah, yeah. But
But besides that, the opening was great. Like everything with William.
mhm.
Um,
I
Again,
mean,
kind of weird that he was cleaning his knife if he didn't stab the other kid. So I don't know what was going on there.
yeah. Also, I don't know. Did he just like knock out the kid?
Yeah, he
It,
must have knocked out the kid. Maybe he was cleaning the. I don't know. Was he cleaning the knife to stab the kid? That wouldn't really make sense. Was he just?
he didn't
I
want
don't
him.
know. I don't know what was going on there. What was he
Well,
washing?
he didn't want
And
the
why did he
kid.
just leave them?
He didn't want the kid to get any infections, like from when he stabbed
Yes,
him.
yeah. Before he stabbed him. Yep, that
Right.
makes sense. Yep. So
Yeah.
I like there were some weird things that didn't make as much sense. I know some people brought up that Mike probably had the passcode the whole time, and that Charlotte didn't need um Vanessa to get the passcode to let them free because
right.
obviously Mike was working with her. But initially, remember, Mike ran out of the pizzeria because he was scared of Charlotte. Because I don't think he initially had a plan to work with her until later in the film. And also, William says that Vanessa was his favorite. Said, "You're my favorite," which again was foreshadowing to Mike being revealed. Um, but also the fact that William probably wouldn't give the code to everyone, to all of his kids, just
Right.
Vanessa. So I know people brought that was a plot, that's like a plot hole, but I don't think that one's a plot hole. I think there's other issues we could address, but
Yeah.
that's not what I see the plot hole to be.
hmm Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of scenes in this movie that really just got my heart like going. Like at the beginning when Charlotte's carrying the child and he's just like slowly creeping up on him. I'm like, oh no, I know it's about to happen. But then you don't see her get stabbed, and I'm like, oh, she made it out.
Yes,
And then
and then the
you see it, and
reveal.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love that scene. Again, it kind of is weird because why would Afton let her get out there? if he's able to stab her, why would you like? That kind of ruins the whole point of you trying to be a murderer with no one knowing who you are. But it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean,
It
that's
had to
always
go
been
on.
a thing about William is his like his confidence in himself and kind of almost like bragging.
Yeah, I mean, we see that in like all of his lines, right?
Right.
He's very, and I like that about him. I like that he's so arrogantly cocky about being a child murderer, which is just crazy.
And I mean,
But
I feel like he would probably intentionally let her get out. Like, oh, she tried to mess with me. Here's what happens. Like,
yeah, but then that would just it didn't lead him to getting caught, but it very much could have.
right. But I mean, I think he just has so much.
And did like okay, sorry, did the kid just forget what happened to him?
That's what I'm wondering. That was the only confusing thing to me. The kid kind of just sits up, like wakes up, and just goes and runs off. And I'm like, what?
Like did the kid just like did the police not interrogate the kid like what happened to you? Oh yeah, I got lured. Like this yellow rabbit guy walked me in the back and then me out. But
Mm,
and I think the newspaper says that it blames Charlotte's death on her,
right.
something she did in the back. But they're obviously stab marks. So I don't know. But then again, they reference her getting murdered.
Yeah,
So
I saw something last night. I was just like scrolling through YouTube or whatever, and I guess in one of the FNAF books, I don't know if it's like whether it's like one of like the official like books or if it's like one of the encyclopedia thingies or just it was some official FNAF book, but there's like this thing written by a kid, and he's like, the yellow rabbit helped me win this arcade game, and then he tried to get me to follow him into a room to
oh
do
yes, I
something, and
have
he's
seen this.
like, oh,
It
but I
was one of
went,
his failed attempts.
yeah, and I'm like, that's kind of cool that we see some failed attempts, and I mean, we see one right at the beginning of the movie, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's interesting.
I'm just if a murder happened at a location, why would the kid not speak up about being lured into the back by a yellow rabbit? And I feel like you could pretty much trace that suit back to William. But
Yeah, I feel like in
I
the
don't know.
sense of the kid who played the game, it made sense because he's like, oh, Bonnie just wanted to come hang out here, but I had to go open
Yeah, he never
presents.
understood that he was in danger. But I'm sure
But
this
in
kid
the
remembers
movie,
being.
the kid who was knocked out and
How would
like
you not remember that?
he like grabbed his hand and just like pulled him back.
Yeah,
It's like, how would you
yeah. I
not?
mean, you could argue it like he just like woke up from being knocked out and just like kind of like disassociated with what happened. Like he doesn't really
Yeah,
remember. Maybe that gave him a little bit of brain damage.
maybe.
Um, but Charlotte, I mean, she has stab marks all over her. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I
obviously
mean,
she couldn't talk.
the fact that she was stabbed in the back multiple times and yet still carried this kid like out there is crazy. Like,
Yeah. Oh, that also, did you notice the Easter egg where she says her line from UCN?
yes.
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was
Mm.
really cool. Little stuff like that. I don't hate you, but you need to get out of my way.
Yeah, I did pick up on that one, and I was like,
Or my favorite part was when Springtrap walked in. He was like, "Way to go, superstar!" Love that part.
yeah.
Love that part.
Mhm.
Or when Toy Chica says my fastball's itch, like, yes, dude,
I would
yes,
totally
we need more of that.
I feel like you're picking the wrong characters to say these lines.
Nope, that's what she said. I remember it word for word. Guys, hit me in the comments if you heard her say that too. Come on,
I mean,
hit us in the
hey,
comments, letting us know that's what she said.
it's only a matter of time before they bring up Fazballs in the movie. Like they can't get away with
I
not
mean,
bringing it up.
we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. We're gonna get Matt Pat, and Prey eventually. Stuff like that. It'll happen.
Dude, oh my gosh.
Oh, also, other news about FNAF 2. I know we kind of talked about it yesterday, but what do you think about Markiplier's 1020 mode?
Listen, if that's the biggest drama Markiplier's got in his YouTube career, I'd say he's pretty chill if he cheated or
No,
run.
I like Markiplier a lot. I love his videos and all that. I just,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
I believe
he
it.
can't really. He definitely didn't do it. I mean, he definitely didn't.
No, I
Like
mean, I
at all.
believe
I
he
just
cheated. I believe he cheated. Yeah.
yes, he needs
I
to just
mean,
come out and be like,
if you
hey, that's,
see,
I won't. Everyone, no one's really mad at him. They just like, come on, just like admit it, bro. We
if
know
you've
you. We know you
seen,
didn't do it.
he did a Secret of the Mimic. I think it was Secret of the Mimic, where he like photoshopped like a shadow Bonnie in Secret of the Mimic, and he was like, "Oh, I found this super rare Easter egg," and some people were believing it, and obviously he was doing it as a joke, but it shows he has abilities to like.
He's done that in a bunch of games, actually.
And I think that
like even
that might have
security
been
breach.
him
So
hinting at it. Yeah.
his editor will add stuff in just to make you like second guess yourself, which is cool. But I think that is more funny. Where this is, I mean, kind of deceptive in my
Well,
opinion.
I think
Now I love Markiplier,
I think
but
that's one of the things about Markiplier. I think he's probably watching all these people say this stuff, and he's probably just sitting there laughing about it and could care
yeah,
less.
yeah.
Like it's so
I
beyond
mean,
him at
it
this
does. Like
point.
I said, does it really change anything? No,
No,
it doesn't change anything.
I'm sure.
I just find it very funny that like what 6 years later, 10 years later, oh my, that people are just now figuring out this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has the skill to beat it. It's just a matter of luck because that mode is
You
so
beat
luck
1020,
based.
haven't you?
Yeah, I beat it a couple
Yeah,
times. It's so
it's
luck
really
based.
difficult. It's really difficult,
Yeah.
especially all the RNG with it, because of toy bonding, especially.
My arch
I
nemesis.
beat I beat 1010, but never 1020. Never 10.
And what about the Enter Private Room though?
Well, I knew you would bring that up. We're not talking about the Ender boss fight, guys,
I
because I've
mean,
been struggling for like 2 months on how to beat the Ender boss fight, and I just can't do it. Please drop
oh
tips in the
man,
comments below. Please, I still need you guys. Come on,
help
drop
him
those
with the
tips in the
Ender boss
comments.
fight. Help him with the Ender boss fight.
I need a lot of help.
All right, let me look. See if there's anything else that I want to mention. Oh yeah, the one teacher. What was his name? Was it like Mr. Burns? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I thought he was a super funny character to have in the movie, and especially Toy Chica's recurring line of "I want to see what's going on inside your head." It's just like,
Nothing. No, that was really funny. Do you know what he's from?
mm,
He's from Jurassic Park.
really, actually,
Yeah,
like the like original Jurassic Park.
the original Jurassic
Okay,
Park, and
I've
I just knew who it was immediately.
I've only seen the original Jurassic Park, and now
But
that
he's in that. He's
now that you say
the
that,
son of he's the son of the founder. He's the one that he's like actually the villain. He's the one that lets the whole park break down. So he's
now
still
that you say
being
that, yeah, does he gets murdered? Doesn't he? I'm sure he does.
yeah by a Dilophosaurus, the one that has like the frill.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Jurassic Park, but
So I didn't even know he was in the movie, and then when they showed him, I was like, let's go. We're getting a lot more big name actors in FNAF, which I'm so happy. And I'm so glad it's being more mainstream. It's such a good series.
I remember
So good.
the trailers. In the trailer, you see like this guy like just get like this teacher get like
Yes.
yanked, and so I knew that in the trailers a teacher dies, and so when we got to the movie and this teacher just starts being just like a complete jerk, I'm like, yes, he is going
No,
to
you
get
know he's gonna die.
absolutely destroyed, and
Yep.
I
And he
was waiting
does.
for it.
He does. I would love. I wish FNAF would do a rated R cut of their movies because like that scene especially with his head being crushed. If
It's
they did
just
like rated R effects, oh my goodness, it'd
you
be so
just
much better. It'd be so much better. And I
I
know
know.
FNAF is famously like a PG-13 horror series. Like Scott's very loose about what he shows, which is cool. It makes the mystery more,
Right.
enthralling. But I would love a rated R cut
I know it's the
where
FNAF
you can
3
just go
movie.
all out. Like
If the FNAF 3 movie was rated R,
yes,
like
yeah. I mean, imagine it. Because I mean, it would make a lot of sense, especially with Spring Chaps, how gory he is already. I don't know how they're gonna dumb that down, and not like showing his corpse inside
right.
of there.
I mean,
That in itself is a bloody image.
I understand why they keep it PG-13 because I mean, there's a lot of younger FNAF fans, and like they're gonna be like, "Can I go see this movie?" And their parents are gonna be like, "It's rated R. You're not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
see it," and that
you
ruins
would
it for a
isolate a
lot of
lot of
people.
your audience. Yeah, you would isolate a lot of your audience by not doing it. And but then again, for all the people that have grown up with the series, like we have, rated R cut would be awesome. That's what I'm saying.
It definitely
Release
would
the
be.
movie in PG-13, but give us an extended cut in like R. Like just film those R scenes and then add them later in an extra cut you can
Throw in
sell
those extra
on digital.
scenes. Yeah,
Yes, that would be so sick.
yeah. One thing that I can see or that I wanted to mention was the like boat ride or whatever from the
Mm-hmm.
original one. Those like little puppet dolls.
Okay, yeah.
Those were kind of interesting because I guess they were being controlled by the puppet, but the way they just like all fall in and like I guess did they get a kill? Those I
Yeah,
thought they did.
they kill a guy. I see them working exactly like the Bibby Babs and the mini arenas in Central Location. Like again, the mini arenas, of course, are attached to Ballora, and the Bibby
Right.
Babs are attached to Circus Baby.
Mm.
Or I'd actually argue they're both being controlled by Ballora because I don't think sister or baby wants you being killed until the very end.
Right.
But the baby babs try to kill you before that. So I would say those are all being controlled by Ballora, right? Her spirit is controlling all of them.
Mhm.
I think it's the same thing happening here. I'm sure those little puppets are also animatronics.
Right.
Like they'd be moving in the ride, like like doing
Mhm.
little stuff like that, or not moving their head. So
Yeah.
I think that it's Charlotte controlling them, like the mini arena and like the bitty babs, and like in Sister Location, they can kill you as well. So
Right.
that's what I think they are. I think there's extensions of their animatronic
Mhm.
counterparts. Cupcake is another
Yeah.
example of that. So yeah, I don't think it's as different than one would expect to see in FNAF, especially with Sister
Mhm.
Location.
Yeah. I think the only thing, well, okay, there's a few things left on here that we haven't discussed yet. The one is the music box that Henry has, and
Okay, yeah.
he gives it to Mike. And also, I just want to note real quick, when Mike at the end of the movie he plays that music box and calms her down, and then he shuts the music box.
Yes, so stupid,
I'm
so
like, what
stupid.
are we doing? Like, we are just
Like
like,
you could argue he doesn't know it's gonna work. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how you could argue that. I
it
don't know
was
what he
just
was
like
thinking. Why
the
would you?
worst. It's like, oh, this stopped her. Let me close this real quick. But
I mean, she did stay away for quite a while, so it worked until she possessed Vanessa at the end.
what
But
my
why would he close it?
my question related to that is, so when Henry gives him the music box, is it just like he knows Charlotte used to like the song, just kind of as like a, oh, play this music for her, she liked this song, or is it like he knows she's still there, like do you
No,
think
I
he
I think I think he knows that his daughter is possessing the puppet, like in the games.
right?
How he knows? I think he knows, and he also mentions how he didn't know that William killed her until the very end, until the MCI happened. He was like, okay, I
Mhm.
realized it, and I think he obviously realized earlier too that she possessed the puppet. And I think she gets a music box before that from Vanessa actually,
Yeah, she has
because
she has a music box. Yeah.
Vanessa gives the music box originally, which calms her down. Um, which is interesting. But yeah, I think he purposely gives her the music box, knowing that it can help
Hmm.
talk
Yeah, and in that
to his daughter.
in the post credit scene, or the post, not the post credit scene, but like the audio, um do
Yeah,
you think Henry actually died? Because it sounded like something happened to him at the end of that audio. I didn't get to hear the full thing in the theater because my friends were kind of headed out, so I was going with them, but I tried to listen to as much as I could. And I listened back to it later, and it seems like something happened to Henry
yeah.
at the end of that message.
It sounds like someone's breaking into his house. Now, most people speculate that's the puppet, which would be Vanessa, of course. But I don't see why that makes sense. I don't think the puppet cares. She wants revenge on the adult. Now, maybe she wants revenge on her father too, because he wasn't there. He was so obsessed with his work. Possible, possible. But I think it's gonna be a new character. Maybe even Michael actually. That's breaking in. Because Michael disappears at the end too.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be a new character. Possibly Michael. Maybe Vanessa. I
Maybe
don't see
baby.
why though. I don't know what they're gonna do with Baby. I have no clue. I really hope they don't bring Sister Location
I
over
feel
into
like
FNAF
she
3.
I feel like she might play a bigger part in FNAF 3, which I don't really want either. I either want them to do a sister location movie, then a FNAF 3 movie, or a FNAF 3 movie, then a sister location, not mix them into
No,
one.
I know I kind of talked to you before we did the podcast here, but I really hope they just keep on doing a movie based off the games. Now I know for 4 that'd be really hard because with it all being a dream and that animatronics not being real. So what they're likely going to do is if they do make a 4th movie, it'll be about Sister Location, and then it'll have like teases of nightmares that they're having, which shows the nightmare animatronics. I'm
Mhm.
sure that they're not going to leave those guys out.
Right.
But how do you make them in a way that can make a whole movie? I
I
don't see
think
how
you
they're
could
going to do that.
combine a FNAF 4 and sister location movie
No, I
because
I, I agree with that.
the bunker's in the same house and everything. Like, I think
Yes,
those could be
I
combined.
just I wish they would do a whole movie on just FNAF 4 because I think I like how in my mind I like how that just like you get a game, a movie, a game, a movie. I don't
Right.
like how they would combine games, but if we're talking logically, it makes sense.
Hmm.
Because of course it's really hard to do a movie on FNAF 4. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no new Freddy's. We only get the house and this location, and then FNAF 6, we get new Freddy's locations, which is
Right.
a big draw for fans. Unless they, of course, showed Fredbear's in FNAF 4. So FNAF 4 is about Fredbear's, because we do see Fredbear's in the flashbacks. And then Athens House, but we'll see. Well, I very much doubt they'll do a movie just on FNAF 4, the game.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait for the FNAF AR movie where they go around with their
not
phones
canonical.
and the animatronics get sent to their house. I can't wait for that.
I've literally thought about like how they would do each movie. I feel like Help Wanted. I don't know how you do Help Wanted.
Help Wanted's are going to be cut out. FNAF AR is going to be cut out. Like,
but FNAF AR though is not canon. I don't think it's canon. It's not, because we go FNAF 7, which is UCN. Again, I feel like they would skip UCN as well. I don't know how you could possibly do that as a movie. So we go FNAF 7, Help Wanted is FNAF 8, FNAF 9 being Security Breach, FNAF 10, Help Wanted 2, FNAF 11.
Right.
Secret Mimic. I did not put FNAF AR in there. I think my biggest point towards that being the game being taken down.
Yeah, as much as I wish Freddy Frostbear was canon. I think, honestly, I would put Freddy Frostbear as a top 3 favorite animatronic mod. I love Freddy Frostbear. Dude.
I think the skins are very cool.
He's so cool.
But it doesn't make realistic sense for them to look like that. So,
you're telling me...
I think... I made a whole video, again, you guys should go watch that, on what I think is canon and what is not canon to the storylines. And I am very... Specifically canon, this is obviously not. I kind of just gave you that. I don't think any of the books are canon. I don't even consider the survival logbook canon. Now, can they be used to figure out things in the canonical storyline? Yes.
Yeah, like the emails.
But are they in the continuity? No. Like, people are so set on the survival logbook being I don't think that's true. If people will say that, and then all the other books are like, oh yeah, those aren't canon, but then this book is.
Right.
I don't think that makes sense. Now, can you use some of the answers that book gives in the games? Of course. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying everything in that book, I don't think is canon. So don't take it as, if it says this, it has to be true. Because I don't think that's not how it works. Right. Like, I know, like if the game says something that goes against the canon of a book, that's not proving that the game is wrong. It's proving that the book isn't canon.
Right.
I think people just don't like that suggestion. Yeah. But I just feel like Scott knows that you shouldn't have to read to understand the story.
Right.
But that's my opinion. I know that might really piss off the FNAF book lovers. Sorry, guys. I do enjoy the books, just not as the same continuity.
So bringing this back, what you're saying is you don't want a UCN movie where they get in the building and they say, guys, this is the ultimate custom night.
I'm not going to answer that one. Yeah, we need Mr. Hippo voice lines, through the whole movie.
Dude.
Or when we get trashed in the gang jump scared, that'd be awesome. Right. That would be so sick. Or when Old Man Consequences appears on the screen, as he appears in the movie, and Josh Hutcherson says, "Who is that?"
Guys, catch the fish.
And then he walks in and he says, "I'm the consequence of your actions."
The FNAF World movie.
Oh, that would be awesome! Oh my, yes. Oh wow, that would just. We have Josh Hutcherson sitting like this, and he starts punching, and then we see like a health bar go down.
Just make it like an hour-long animated movie. FNAF World movie.
I would love a series like on the Fazbear Fright books. I think that'd be sick, like a Goosebumps kind of thing. That would be so cool.
If that was
I would love that.
An animated series, yeah.
Or make a series that's canonical to the movie story. That would be awesome. I really hope we get to see that. I hope Scott Cawthon's open to all that stuff. I hope he's not like these 3 films and we're done. I think he is. I mean, we've seen that in the series, but let's hope he is.
Yeah, I know you didn't like the Into the Pit game a ton, but I hope we see more games by that studio, more Fazbear Fright games.
I love watching the game, but when I started playing Into the Pit, I think I am the total minority here. I did not enjoy it. It's like a talking simulator. That's my opinion on it. Talk.
There is a lot of talking.
Talk. Run for 2 seconds. Talk. That's what I don't know. I find its gameplay boring, and I know I'm in such a minority there. Now I think the look of the game is awesome, but it's just that's such a small part of the game. I don't know. I am so torn. I'm not torn. I don't like Into the Pit.
Right.
I'm gonna say that right. But like I said, everyone else I've heard says they love it, so it's just me. Right. Apparently that being said, but
So okay,
What can
I
I say?
think
I also love Security Breach, and everyone really doesn't
I
really
love
care for that
Security
game.
Breach. I love Security Breach.
It's my favorite FNAF game. I really, really like it. And I think everyone can agree that the characters are awesome in it,
Yeah,
but they don't even like the game. I think the game's great too. I mean, of
right.
course I would love Steel Wool, please hear me out. Go make a game, Security Breach, refurbish it, add all the unfinished content, and then re-release the game. I would buy that I feel like everyone would buy that so fast.
Mhm.
I know they just released a mod
Yeah,
where they kind of
that's been
add.
real popular lately.
Yes, if they did a canon version of that, that would be awesome. There's so many, like all the level 10 doors that are just you can never unlock. Oh, it's just they were so rushed at the end there because they had to delay the game like I think twice that
Right.
they just were trying to get it out. But if they added all the unfinished stuff, it would be I already love it. Imagine with all the stuff it was supposed to have. Oh, it'd be so much better.
Mhm.
So please make that eventually.
All right, I think
Sorry, to answer that.
I'll bring us back into the FNAF 2 movie for our final little bit here, and that is at the very end of the movie we see the puppet take over Vanessa. So I guess the final question here that I have at least is where is this all leading to next? What do we have for predictions for the next movie?
Okay, they have a lot of stuff to tie up. I know I also talked to you about this.
Mm-hmm.
They have Vanessa's possession, Michael being missing, Afton coming back, the relationship between Mike, Abby, and Vanessa,
Henry,
Charlotte, Charlotte existing Henry. They have to do this all in one movie.
they got a lot of
And
work.
if they do another hour and 40-minute movie, I feel like it's going to be very rushed. Which
Yeah.
again, Scott, if you made a fourth movie, that would kind of fix the issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So where do I think that's leading? I honestly think that Charlotte possessing Vanessa will only be a brief part of the film. I think she'll be unpossessed, and we'll later see. I don't know. 'Cause I don't know if Charlotte's gonna get her revenge because she doesn't really care about killing William as much. I mean, I'm sure she would if she had the chance, but she more cares about getting revenge on the parents that ignored her.
Right.
So, what is her ultimate goal now that she failed? I don't know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is she still gonna? I feel like the movie is not gonna be like, okay, she's still trying to kill the parents. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
And it's like where this Fazbear Frights thing is going to open. Where like how does Mike get involved with that? Because it's not like an official Freddy's thing.
Yeah.
Like I would feel like
Well, it wasn't in the game either.
yeah, I would feel like he wouldn't want to associate himself with just some cheap horror attraction unless he
Uh,
knows that like William Afton is there. I
yeah,
don't know.
Like I said, I think that Michael will get a redemption arc in this next film. I think he will eventually maybe help Henry in turning against his father last second. Like Vanessa will talk to him, like at the very end of the film, and he'll realize that instead of helping Afton, Afton's ruined his life. Instead of like
Right.
being, I think Afton says like I give you purpose. I'm the one
Mm-hmm.
that gives you purpose. But then when he realizes he has purpose outside of his father and his father's will, he finally realizes that, and maybe he'll lock himself. He'll lock the door to Fazbear Frights with him in it, probably Henry in there, and probably Charlotte as well as of course William, and they'll
Right.
all die in the fire. Have that one final fire. So William will say, or sorry, not William, Michael will redeem himself at the very end by sacrificing his own life to end
Right.
everything. Alongside, of course, Henry, who I think will come back. He'll probably be with his daughter, and they'll like the ending of FNAF 6 where they die together in
Mm-hmm.
their arms.
Right.
And then we'll see, of course, Mike, Vanessa, and Abby get back together. And it'll be like a positive ending. I
Yeah.
think it'll be very happy.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll get the
but
good
that's what
ending.
I see. I don't know how they'll get there, but I can see the end of the film. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. And then when they have the Everett boss fight in the movie, that'll be great. Hey, they'll give some good tips for how to beat it. Tips from Scott himself.
Guys, if you guys even bring up Ennard in the comments, I will ban you for life. I will ban you for life.
Oh man.
That's how mad I am at Ennard. This dude over here, I don't know if you can even see him on this poster right here. Screw him. Screw him. Not in a sexual way, sorry. Not like Toichico.
Right. Right. Different.
But like screw him over because he's awful. Scott, fix your boss fight. It can't be that hard, buddy.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard.
Sister location update in 2025.
Hey, he does update the games regularly.
Yeah.
I've noticed that on mobile. They get updates a lot, actually.
Well, we're about at an hour and 20 minutes here, so we've actually. You didn't think we could have an hour video, but we're
I
at an
think we
hour.
went. I think we could even make it longer.
I
So this
know
is
we're at
perfect.
we're at an hour 20 minutes. We try and keep each episode around an hour to an hour and a half. So I say that like we've done more than one episode, but that's our goal. Um, so I think that's going to be it for this one. I don't know when the next one will be. Hopefully, we will record another one before our breaks are over the FNAF
We
2
definitely will. We
game.
definitely will.
Uh, yeah.
And yeah. This has been an awesome, awesome talk. I can't wait to get into the next episode where we'll actually be discussing FNAF 2, the game, and
Yes,
all the lore there,
that's going to be a whole
which
thing.
will tie perfectly in with this. Will tie in perfectly with this episode.
Right.
So I'm
Exactly.
very glad to talk with you, Luigi. It's been so
Yep.
fun as
It's been
usual,
good.
and I'm so glad to be in the Fazcast with you again. So great.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Stay freaky.